Hi Post-16, welcome to our second closure period briefing. I hope that there won't be too many more of these. I am once again coming to you from my house, hoping that I'm talking to you in your house and that you are following the guidelines and staying at home so that we can do our bit to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So, once again, just to remind you that anything that I find out that I think will be useful to you, I've been posting on our community classroom. Please keep your eyes open, Year 13 in particular. We are expecting to hear from the exam boards and the Department for Education any day now to find out how they're going to be calculating your final grades and what information we're going to have to provide to them to enable them to do that. So Year 13, please keep working on your coursework, working with your teachers, sharing your work to improve it to the best of your ability, so that if coursework becomes a significant part of how they're going to calculate your grade, you're ready to actually submit the very best of your work. But look out on the classroom for the announcement when it comes. Now, I spoke last week in our briefing about maintaining a positive attitude to learning during a period of shutdown, and some of the feedback that we on the Post-16 team have been getting from some of you, especially in Year 13 actually, is about how difficult you're finding it to maintain a positive attitude and one that is focused on self-improvement and learning, given that your school year has come so abruptly to an end. So I decided that this week I would try and address that a little bit to see how we might be able to, all of us, maintain a really positive mindset. So I found this graphic, and it's one that I've seen and have used and have experienced in training events for teachers several times. But it gives us the core characteristics of how to maintain a positive mindset. And during a really difficult period like the one that we're experiencing now, maintaining a strong and positive outlook on life is going to be key for all of us to get through this experience and come out the other side, and we will come out the other side, feeling like it's been something that wasn't a complete waste of time and something where we've been able to make some progress in our lives in maybe some unexpected ways. So the first thing that I thought we should probably talk about is this first one here is about maintaining your happiness. And I got a top tip for this from someone very close to me who told me that every single day they are stopping and taking a happiness checklist and recalling and listing all the things that have either made them that happy that day, or the things that they are grateful for in their life generally. And I thought about that and thought, actually, how often do we stop and list for ourselves the things that make us happy, that bring us joy in our lives? And it's something really powerful and helps you to maintain your focus on the good things in your life rather than getting bogged down in the ones that might actually make you feel quite despondent. So my top tip around happiness today is to consider doing a daily happiness checklist of the things that are actually making you feel good about your life at the moment. The next one on the chart talks about being motivated. Now, normally your teachers play a really big role in keeping you motivated because they're snapping at your heels all the time, telling you to get things done by a certain time. Now we're all in a situation where we're having to motivate ourselves, and actually maybe what we need to do is readdress the thing that it is that's keeping us motivated, and no longer, if you're a student, be the person who's motivated by your teacher chasing you, or if you're a member of staff, no longer be motivated by your boss or your line manager being the one that's motivating you to get things done by a certain time, and actually think about what are our motivators right now. So my motivators right now are, number one, making sure that my family are safe. Number two, making sure that I'm still providing the level of service that I feel that you all deserve in Post-16. And you might be thinking, what are your motivators at the moment? So in year 13, your motivator might be, I need to be ready to do the thing that I have planned to do in September. What do I need to be doing now to make sure I'm ready to do that? If you've applied to university, could you be contacting your university now and getting hold of your first year reading list and starting doing the reading for the first year of your degree? If you've applied for an apprenticeship, have you made sure to find out, are there any online courses that you could be doing that will prepare you better for when you arrive in the workplace? Whatever it is you've planned to do in September, contact the body that you are going to be doing it with and find out what you can be doing now to be productive, so that you've got some motivation for getting up and going every day and doing things that are all about looking forward and not about dwelling in the here and the now. The next one that we have to think about is being enterprising, and actually there is an incredibly old saying from a Greek philosopher called Socrates, who said that necessity is the mother of all invention. And actually we've all of us had to turn to doing things in very different ways. We've had to be very enterprising in how we're tackling things now, because of the situation we find ourselves in. For example, going shopping. That is requiring quite an enterprising method, because you have to plan who's going to go, which is going to be the one person in your household who's actually going to go into the shop, because they don't want more than one person going in. We're all having to queue up in a very particular way outside the shop. All kinds of people are having to be enterprising like that around very simple things like going shopping. We're also having to get quite enterprising in how we teach and how we provide you with teaching support from a distance. Hence, I am here on YouTube. Other teachers have been experimenting with Loom video. There's all kinds of things that we are all on quite a steep learning curve with having to do, because we're used to being able to do these things face to face with you. You too are having to be enterprising in how you are tackling your learning that you're doing remotely. But having to be enterprising is a really great thing. It's very easy to fall into a comfortable normality when you're going to school every day, because you get the same diet every day. You don't have to be enterprising then, but the more you are forced into a position where you have to be enterprising, the more creative and imaginative you have to get in your solutions to problems. So imagination in how you tackle the things at the moment can actually be quite exciting. When you try one thing out and find, oh, that worked, it might then spark something else that makes you think, well, if that worked, I wonder if that will work as well. And so feeding your imagination by having to be enterprising is another really good way to maintain a positive mindset, so that you can turn obstacles into opportunities. Things that might have seemed insurmountable before or depressing, you can actually turn into really great opportunities to try things that you've not had time or the opportunity or the necessity to try before. It's really important that you are optimistic to maintain a positive mindset. Focus on the things that are going well and the things that are going to be great in the future, rather than focusing on the things that are giving you problems or challenges right now and worrying that the future might not be what you want it to be. I'll talk a little bit more just at the end about maintaining your focus on the things that are inside your control, but being optimistic and expecting good things to happen in the future will keep you having a positive mindset for the here and now. Because we will get through this. This period will come to an end and things will go back to a new kind of normal, and you've got to keep reminding yourself that and be optimistic. It also, however, requires you to be incredibly determined that you won't let this situation be the thing that forces you to change the direction that you've been planning in your life. If you're in year 12 and you are already thinking, I want to go to university, you've got to work and be determined that this period now is not going to stop you from getting there. The universities will find a way to allow for the fact that you've missed a chunk of school, in exactly the same way that the exam boards and universities and the Department for Education are all working together now for year 13 to make sure that having their school year abruptly cut short isn't going to get in the way of them being able to achieve what they want to. So determination that you will still be able to do the thing that you always planned to do is really key. That will keep you positive. Just keep focused on the end goal rather than the obstacle that you're facing right now. And of course, all of those things, if you're working on all of those things to keep a positive mindset, you will feel yourself getting stronger. You'll feel yourself developing your emotional resilience, you'll feel yourself developing your intellectual resilience, and you will feel stronger. But of course, another really important part and a very important aspect of being strong is maintaining your physical well-being. You don't have to turn into some kind of Joe Wicks figure to be able to be physically strong. But there is such a strong connection between physical well-being and mental well-being that all of us should be building in some exercise every day to get our heart rate going, to increase the amount of oxygen in our blood supply so that we're able to maintain a strong sense of mental well-being as well. And finally, everyone needs a pat on the back. I hope all of you have received the email that Mrs. Collins, the principal, has sent out to every student in the school this week, where she's written to you to congratulate you for how well you're doing in coping with this situation, for how well you're keeping up with your study from home, for how well you are engaging with your teachers through Google Classroom. You do all deserve a massive pat on the back for it. I'm really motivated when I see messages coming to me in my email inbox, or whether I see replies being posted on the Google Classroom, because it tells me that you are engaging with what we're trying to do to support you. Hopefully we will all be able to maintain a positive mindset. There are going to be challenges to doing that, particularly if COVID-19 creeps close to you or your family, if you become unwell or someone in your household becomes unwell or someone in your close family becomes unwell. I know that that is going to present challenges for you, and it's going to be really difficult to maintain a positive mindset when that kind of challenge presents itself. But focus on the positives, focus on the things that will come back again when we get through this dark period. And on that note, I know that some of you already have started to lose people that are close to you through COVID-19. Please know that you have all of our deepest sympathy, that we are still here for you, and that if you need us or think that there's anything we can do to help you get through a period of upset or sorrow or grief, just be in contact and we'll do whatever we can. Some tricks to, particularly if you're in year 12 and you are faced with doing some work that a teacher has set for you remotely, where normally you would have had your teacher right there in front of you to ask for help, about maintaining this positive mindset, some tricks that you can employ. And if you look at the slideshow on the Google Classroom later, you'll be able to see how you can turn potentially a negative mindset into a positive one, even when you're faced with those kind of difficulties. For example, a teacher sets you a piece of work and your response is, I can't do it. Turn that thought in your head into, I'm still learning, I'll keep trying. I'm afraid of making a mistake. Am I going to be doing it the way the teacher expects me to do it, or the way the exam board expects me to do it? Turn that negative thought into a positive one. Mistakes are how I learn and get better. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to get things right, because some of the most powerful learning moments happen when you get things wrong, in actual fact. And of course, at the moment, we're all facing this one. I don't like challenges. This is a huge challenge for teachers, for students, for everyone involved in education. None of us particularly likes the challenges that we're having to face, but remember, we can turn that negative thought into a positive one. Challenges make me better. We can get better at things if we are faced with a degree of pushback, something that's giving us a challenge, something that's making it harder for us to achieve what we want to achieve. So check these out when you look at the slides on the Google Classroom after you've watched this briefing. My and finally thought for this week comes back to this idea about the level of control that we feel like we have at the moment, and lots of us are struggling because so many things have been taken out of our control. We can't get up and do our normal thing. We can't get up, we can't go to school, we can't go to work, we can't go to the gym, we can't go and see our friends, we can't go and see our boyfriends and girlfriends, we can't go and see our family. So many things have been taken outside of our control that it is really important in maintaining this positive mindset that we stop worrying about the things that we can't control. There is no point worrying about the things that are out of your control, because there's nothing you can do about them whatsoever. However, our focus and energy needs to be on the things that we can control, and hopefully this briefing is redirecting you back to what can you control at the moment. You can control your attitude, keeping it positive. You can control your effort, your motivation levels to get up, get off your bed and actually get stuff done, whether it's schoolwork or something else that you're taking the time to develop about yourself during this period of shutdown. And you can control your focus. You are absolutely in control of what you choose to focus on at the moment. The negative situation of all these things that are happening in the world, or the positives that can come out of this situation and how positive your future will be. You are absolutely in control of those three things: your attitude, your effort and your focus. So my final words to you today are centred around that, about you are in control in a situation where you feel like you have no control. You now need to pick that ball up and run with it, because what you get out of this period of shutdown is going to be entirely down to you and how positively you tackle the challenge. Just so that you know, on the slide that follows this one, I have posted a video there that very much is about focusing on good news. Obviously, in my new fabulous career as a YouTuber, I have spent a bit more time on YouTube than I might otherwise have done. And I came across the actor John Krasinski's new YouTube channel, which is called Some Good News with John Krasinski. It's going to be a weekly digest for you of some really positive, lovely things that are happening around the world while people are living in self-isolation. I'm going to throw a challenge out there to you, Post-16. I would really like for some of you to start getting in contact with me. Ping me an email, send me a video file, send me a message on the Google Classroom, but start getting in contact with me, making this a little bit more interactive so that I can start showcasing in our briefings some of the stuff that you are doing that is a reminder to the rest of the world that there really is still some good news out there amidst all of the stuff that's going on. Don't forget Post-16, we're all here for you on the Post-16 team. Your teachers are all here for you, your tutors are all here for you. We all care about you, we all miss you, and we look forward to seeing you again really soon. Thanks ever so much, and see you next week. Bye.